I'm going to tell you about a place that you can go that helps you start on any task or activity that motivates you. This place is called your point of performance. I'm going to give you 10 reasons why you should find it, how it helps you, and how to use it. Number one, it's easy to find and easy to use. This is a concept for Dr. Russell Barkley, and it's a critical place and time that you are doing the activity or task. For example, you get up in the morning, you make coffee every morning. You go to your coffee machine, you put all the stuff in there, you make the coffee, you sit back down and drink your coffee. Now you do this each and every morning. The coffee machine, where it is, where you make your coffee, is the place, the point of performance, because when you go there, you start making coffee. I want some coffee. You go to the coffee machine, you start to make the coffee. It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Have you ever said this? You're making it, you're like, I don't know why I'm making this coffee. I really don't even want it. And you're still making the coffee while you're saying that. That's because you've gone to the place where you perform that task or activity. And so once you go to that place, you're prompted to do the task or activity that takes place generally in that place. And the funny thing is, after you make the coffee, you might go sit down and be like, don't really want it, put it aside, never drink it. The next thing, every activity or task that you do has a point of performance. For example, every day at 6 o'clock, you go and sit down at your dinner table and have dinner. The point where you're going to sit down there, you know at 6 p.m. that you are eating at the dinner table, and every day that you're there, you automatically go sit down, grab a plate, grab forks, whatever you need, and eat. The point of performance is the dinner table. So you can do this with anything, any activity. All you have to do is find out where your point of performance is, find out where that location is, to where you know that you're going to do the task. Or another example that you can use is that every time you go to do office work, you go inside an office. You go to your office. You can't figure out, why can't I do this work anywhere else? Anywhere else in the house, you're just like, oh man, I want to do it, but I just can't do it here. But every time you go to the office, for whatever reason, you go in, you put your headphones on, and you sit in your chair, and you automatically get all the work done that you need to get done. Being in the office is a place that is your point of performance. And think about this, you're going to be more productive when you know your point of performance, because you know there are places that you go that you know that you're going to start the activity, because when you're there, every time you're there, or most of the time you're there, you start doing whatever you have come to do. So now you can look at things and say, I want to do this certain activity, so I'm going to go to this certain place. And then when I get there, I'll be able to start the activity. And another awesome thing about knowing your point of performance is going to help give you more self-confidence, because of the fact that when you go to a certain place, you generally are going to be able to start the activity that you have come to do. And so that can help you feel like, hey, I know that if I go here, I'm good. I know I'm going to start, as opposed to sometimes you're like, man, I don't know how to start on these tasks or do these things. But if you find your point of performance, then it's going to make it easier for you, and you're going to have confidence in yourself that you can start that activity. You just have to find the place that you normally do it. Now, this is important. Make sure if you need other ingredients, materials, any extra stuff, you have that in the place where you perform the task. Going back to the coffee example, make sure you have a coffee pot, your stir things, your coffee cups, your whatever else you need to make coffee. That is not in the refrigerator, of course, if you have things that have to be in the refrigerator, but anything else that you need to make coffee in one place. So that way you don't get there and say, I need to go over here and get this. I need to go over here and get that. I need to go over here and get that. And so by that time you have come to your place, your point of performance, but now you've left it to go and gather all these other things. So you want to make sure whatever you need, whatever activity you want to do, you have all the stuff there with you. And also, once you know your point of performance, you can plan around it. Hey, I go to the gym. Once I get to the gym, I do my workout. I always do my workout at like 4 o'clock. And then you might say, hey, friend, you want to come work out with me at 4 o'clock? And so at 4 o'clock, you arrive at the gym, you go inside, you get all ready. I am going to start a workout and go through whatever I need to go through for that workout. Now, The fact is that you might be in the gym, you might not finish everything that you want to do. You might just get a little bit tired or whatever and take a break, and that's fine. But you have started the activity, you've started your workout, which is an amazing thing. Now, very important to know, your point of performance may not be the same as someone else's point of performance. Your point of performance is personal to you. These are things that when you get to these places that you do these activities, someone else may not have the same point of performance, and it's probably likely they don't. So just because you go to a place and you're like, oh, I go to this place, it's awesome. Every time I go there, I start. That person may be like, I went to that place, kind of drag, don't start anything when I get there. So that is something that's really good to know when you start using your point of performance and you've started doing all these tasks and everything. You're like, this is awesome. And so, but the other person's point of performance may not be the same. And you'll have to explain to them, hey, this is how you find this thing. And that they find it in that activity and they figure out where it is, then that can be an amazing thing, because now you both know and now you can both use it to your advantage. It's easy to find someone else's point of performance once you explain to them what it is. You just observe them and see when they start a task, what place, what location prompts them to start that task. For example, you have a son or daughter and you're wondering why they can't study in another room. Every time they get ready to study, they sit down at a certain place on the couch, and then you see them, they study all the time. That's their place where they sit down. They're like, hey, I'm studying. You see them study for 2 or 3 hours, right? At that place. That is their point of performance. That's the place where they go to make sure that they can start that activity. So it's very easy to find. And once you find it, then you can use it, right? Once you find it and your son or daughter, you're trying to get them to study and you figure out, okay, they have to be in this place. This is the place where they perform that activity. So if I let them there, they're probably going to start that activity. Now, if you are enjoying this video, do me an awesome big favor and share this video with someone. And also high five that subscribe button for me. Now, another important thing to be aware of is your point of performance can change if you're forced to change it. For example, you move, you're not going to be in the same location. So now you have to find a new point of performance, and you will discover that as you're in that new location. Sometimes it just changes because you find a place that you like to do things better. And then every time you go to that place, you still do the task, but you still have the one that you used to do as well. Now you have 2 places where you can perform that task. And a quick example of this, back to the home office, you know that you can start your work in your home office, but then you find out that, hey, if I go to this park, sit on this bench, I can also get my work done. And when I get there, I know I'm gonna pull out my stuff and start as well. And so now you have this place and that place that is also a point of performance for you. Now, how can you use this for organization? What you can do is figure out where you organize the best. Say, for example, you have a box in the closet that you want to organize, but you just don't do it well in your room. But every time you're on the couch, put some music on, drink a little cup of coffee while you're doing the whole thing. You organize. You just go through, declutter, organize, throw things away, put things in order. That's like your spot where you just are organizing everything that you want to organize. Now, this is not the only video that I have on some motivational organization. I have this video right here. It talks about what you can do to help you organize, to help you get motivated to organize. Watch that video right now.